Here we are. We're going to be jumping in with a short interview with Sovergn himself after a wonderful 2-0. I want to be the first to congratulate you, Sovergn, on actually what was an entire 4-0 sweep tonight.
Thank you very much. It was a hard earned effort by everybody in between all the memes and failed fucking tower dives.
Whoa!
Oh, sorry, I can't say that on stream.
Be careful there. Either way, congratulations. Like you said, you guys have been struggling through it all night, but I don't think it was that much of a struggle. Looking back at game one, you guys were dominant through and through, and the Skarner was a big power play. All right. Fantastic across the board. Tell me about the mentality going to that, the kind of decision making you went with to start that off.
Well, to start, I'm actually in jungler jail. I'm only allowed to play Udyr and Skarner.
Oh, okay. Teams, take note.
But yeah, no, I think like since week one, at least up till now, like our drafting has evolved a lot to stylistically, like we don't just funnel into one thing. Like we're pretty good at branching out. So we kind of had the regular game plan going in. Like we have our overall idea of how we want to play the game. It doesn't matter what we necessarily pick. So yeah, draft didn't matter a whole hell of a lot.
Draft didn't matter.
Yeah.
Awesome. No, but I mean, it definitely proved well.
I do have a question for you. Since you bring the point up, you say you're in jungler hell right now. Not the one that Shen's in, but you're stuck on Udyr and Skarner duty. If you could play a jungler style of your preference, what would that be?
Well, fortunately, like I can still do it sometimes on tanks. Like I think the last time you guys saw us stream, you saw like we're pretty good at just facilitating a very invade heavy playstyle. So Fug and Cole are really good at reacting to what I want to do, and we're very good at communicating like, okay, this is what we want to look for, this is how we're going to do it. And I think our timings have gotten a lot better. So yeah, I will invade your Raptor camp level 3 Skarner every game if I want.
Well, I did see that there was a couple times where you seemed to be in the opposite jungle, and it was very scary for the tree man, and it just didn't work out. And big props to you. I will ask this question for what is Degenerate as a whole. Do you guys feel like you have a bit of a different play style for that kind of early versus mid to late game? Because we see something transform within y'all's team, and that was something we brought up on stream. So I want your opinion on that.
I think like kind of doubling back to what I said before is we have a very stable way that we want to play the game. So we have, if you think of it as like a checkbox, right? Like this is what we're looking for here. Right. This is what we want here. Once those criteria are met, we know how we push that lead further. If for whatever reason those criteria aren't met, we're still pretty good at adapting to get back to that, that plan. So I think like it's just very stable the entire way. I don't think there's necessarily a beast that awakens at like minute 15, you know, but like we just know how to really push and continue to punish opponents' mistakes.
So that being said, would you consider not only yourself personally, which we do see from how phenomenal your mid and late game team fighting capability is and pressure, your whole team, Degenerate Esports as a whole, really enjoys the pressure that you can bring with that 5-stack communication macro that you guys have, you know, put so much thought and effort into in these late games? Or do you prefer early game pressure?
I think it's a strong mix of both. Like I have a very distinct way that I want to dictate early game, and I think Fug and Cole, just to highlight them again, are like very communicative in what we want to do. We kind of leave bot lane on a bit of an island, at least comm-wise, to start off the game, but Burn and Vixus are really good at kind of jumping back into what we want to do and offer suggestions, or like, hey, this is what I'm going to look for here. How can we do that? So I think like overall, everyone has a very strong voice in how we want to play. There's no stepping on each other's toes, or, you know, that's like a stupid call. Like if someone's calling something, we're all going for it. We live as a team, die by a team.
Well, that's good to hear. Bubby, you have any final questions to throw in? Because I've got one last one for him.
Yeah, I guess I would just say, who specifically do you guys like to rely on the most for shot calling then? If you keep highlighting how good Fugnuggler and Colebox are around rotating to everything when you're saying them, because Because it seems to me like Burn in Hell is really good at making plays on his own. Coldbox and Fugnugler are just everywhere they need to be. But then you and Fugnugler are also always making plays across the map. So is that a full team effort, or do you have a designated shot caller to do that?
I'd say like early game, I'm probably the early game shot caller with my solo lanes as our backup. Like, oh no, that's an in play, don't do that. But as we transition more into the late game, like your objective timers are more myself, but lane assignments are pretty much Fug and Cole. So yeah, I'd say it's very much just a collective.
Okay. I will say one last question. If you had to choose an animal that you would consider yourself to represent or be here on Degenerate Esports, what would that be?
I am absolutely the jellyfish because I have no backbone for our team.
You quit that.
He wanted you to say tuna. He wanted you to say tuna, Sovereign. That's what he wanted.
In all fairness, I am in chat and I did say if Degenerates are tuna, I am their biggest eater. So I am the Twitch chat meme now.
Good. Good. You're tuna.
If there was a tuna Udyr skin, would you use it?
That's actually a very good question. I think if I could swim into enemy team backlines even harder, I would probably play it just for the meme. But April is coming up, so definitely not Udyr might get an upgrade.
Hey, very true, very true. All right, well, I want to thank you again, Sovereign. Fantastic job tonight. 4-0 across the board, 2-0 in the series we casted ourselves. I wish you guys the best of luck into your future sets.
Thank you very much for having us, and we look forward to being streamed again.
Awesome. Well, all right there, Coach.